I came to this country when I was barely 1 year old, and even though I've spent most of my life in this country, you can't separate the immigrant experience, right? Because when you grow up in a family who isn't from here, and my entire consciousness growing up was one of being other. My dad was in the Navy, he was serving active duty, and so we were anchored in San Diego. And so I spent the first, 6 or 7 years of my life here in the United States in California. And what I remember about that time was that everywhere we went, there were not other people who looked like us. I went to 5 different elementary schools and finally ended up in the Washington, D.C. area. I remember early in high school, one of my very vivid memories was having some other students from school. We were working on a group project, and so they came over to my house to work on this project and together. And what I remember most about that time was having people come into my house and this deep sense of shame as they spoke to my parents who had very thick accents, and the way that my house smelled because my mom had been cooking all afternoon. And, my mom wore traditional Indian garb. She was wearing a sari and you could see her midriff. And I just remember all of these things being like, oh man, why did I bring these people to my house? And I think what happened in the years subsequent to that was a realization of how beautiful and important that culture is and how much a part of it is to me, even though I spent so much of my childhood and adolescence trying to keep it at arm's length and push it away, but realizing that is who I am, and I want to celebrate that. That experience that I had growing up as an immigrant and always feeling on the outside, always feeling other, always feeling uncertain about whether people would accept me or not, I think has translated to this sense that, man, our culture, our background, the way we look, the way we think, that is what makes us beautiful as human beings. And that as a community, we want to lift that up and embrace that. And so now, as mayor of the city, I have this incredible opportunity to channel that lived experience into making Richmond as inclusive and welcoming a place as possible. Well, first I would say welcome. We are so thrilled that you are here in Richmond. We want you to know that your being here is a growing part of who we are as a city, that we celebrate that diversity, and we want you to know that you are a part of this city. We want you to find ways to lean on the city for supports, whether that's for housing or help finding a job, through the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Services, through our Office of Community Wealth Building, through our Departments of Social Services, through our school system. There are so many different ways that we are helping to build on-ramps for the way that you can feel connected and engaged here. And at the end of the day, what we want is that this to be a place that celebrates everyone, where everybody, regardless of where they come from, what language they speak, what their background has been, that they find belonging, that they find wholeness, that they find connection, and that they feel like they are a thriving part of our community.